Before we get started, I'd like to take the chance to share with you that I have started my own YouTube channel. Go ahead and check it out. The link is up here. The channel name is Ellie Speaks German. Because I wanted to better my German and just to be able to practice it more like lifelong instead of just like, with my friends. This would give me an opportunity to stay like regularly engaged with speaking German. And because some of you have brought up that you understand our videos a bit in English, but it would be much better in German, and I totally get that. So I will try and do something similar where we explain like how it is for Americans, like this whole American versus German lifestyle and how I perceive that in my other channel, Ellie Speaks German. Linked up here. Go check it out. You'll love it. It's another morning with Ellie and Lucas. We are just leaving Liges, or also known as
200 meters, slight right onto Paul Van Hogerden in 671.
And so this morning we decided we didn't really want to see any more of Liges, or Ludic, or however you'd like to say it, because we feel like we've explored enough of the town as it is, and we wanted to definitely try the other flavor of waffle that there is in Brussels. This version is a bit different, where the Liges one is more hearty and a bit thicker. The Brussels one has something else to offer, so we're excited to see that. And then we'll head home later today. For breakfast, we stopped at a boulangerie, and I really like the breads here, and they also have like chocolateries because I find that they're much more like finer. The desserts and treats are much more finer, and they taste excellent. Whereas Germany, they're more like heartier treats, and I like the fine things. Who knows if you can hear me, but this parking garage is cool. First of all, it doesn't smell like pee like the one in Liges did. There's these cool like red things over the top of my head that show if the parking place is occupied or not. If it's not occupied, they aren't lit, and then they kind of turn green as you drive in. And we've seen multiple chocolateries, some waffle places, and it just seems like it has more to offer than it did in Liges. I'm probably butchering those names, and I'm so sorry. But I think we'll enjoy it here. Not that we didn't enjoy the last place, but it's something different. So my earliest memory of Belgian chocolates was these. They were like the little seashell shapes, and they were always so tasty, and my grandmother would have them for Christmas, and this was back in the US. And I've since seen Belgian chocolates in Germany, but they're always like in the seashell shape, and Belgian chocolate isn't always in this shape, but I just saw them here and I wanted to try them authentic from Belgium and see if they taste any different. Bye, Mom. It tastes about the same.
looks like a hoodlum again. Okay, so now we're in, it's called the Grand Place in Brussels. It's like this big square, and I think they do like a celebration here every year, but I don't know what that is. But we were just walking through the St. Hubert's Gallery, which is kind of like a big mall, and it was built back in 1847 was when it was started, and it was started planning in 1836 by an architect who thought that the alleyways there were really grungy and dark and freaky, and no one wanted to walk through them. So he thought, let's tear them down and turn them into a pretty place that connects the city more. And now they're full of shops, and you can even live there for probably something like 500,000 euros.
A month?
I don't know.
In case you didn't know, Brussels is the capital of Europe, and it's also the capital of Belgium. Two capitals in one, kind of like Washington, D.C.
And in the mall, we stopped at like one of the older historic like waffle shops, I guess you could say. And we tried Belgian waffles, where when we were in Liège, we had Liège waffles, and it matters. And the Belgian waffles, if you're from America, are more like what you think of when you have Belgian waffles from like the restaurants.
They're more light and airy, but the difference is here that they don't typically serve them with like syrup or butter. They're usually just powdered sugar or plain. And I found that it was alright, but I was definitely jealous of how my mom had ice cream and speculatus cookie toppings, and we just had strawberries, and I was like, well, this is a plain waffle. But I think I prefer the Brussels waffle better, just because you can do more with it.
I was more into the Liège waffle. I liked the flavorings and stuff they had on it. It was kind of sugary and yummy.
Those are more, so the Liège waffles are more of like a heartier waffle.
So yeah, now we're just exploring Brussels some more. It's kind of a cold and cloudy, rainy day, but the city's very pretty.
Yeah, I definitely prefer this city as compared to Liège, because it seems like it doesn't seem quite as dirty. It doesn't smell like pee.
I think where we were, Liège was kind of, I would think it's kind of like Essen. You can go there are things to do and see.
Doesn't smell like
but
pee that much.
Yeah, okay, but it's not the touristy, fancy place to go to for the country. It's just like another industrial kind of city, where now we're in like a more touristy place. There's more things to like see, right? And it just feels more accommodating to people who don't speak French. Which Liège did not. It was okay. The people could speak English, but like it was harder. And you could kind of tell, just like in Essen, if you ask a German person to speak English, it's like you're not really sure how much you're going to get. And that's totally acceptable. That's just how it is, though.
But I will say that I definitely like the food in Brussels, or in Belgium. It's more kind of, there's a huge French influence here, so the country either speaks half French or half Dutch, I believe. And so there's like a heavy French influence, and with that they have like their fine pastries and their fine chocolate shops, and it's just... So at the corner of the Grand Place where we were at, we saw a sign for a beer museum, and so we decided to come. Tickets cost €5 for adults, and you get included with your ticket is a free tasting of beer. So we're sitting down here having a beer now after we watched a video and learned all about the process. And I also learned, in our touring of the beer museum that breweries were first began and beer production started in the 7th and 8th century in monasteries.
Like everything else.
And then around the 14th and 15th century, breweries became more common, and it was actually advised that people should drink beer instead of water, because the beer, due to the process and the fermentation and the production of it all, killed off all the germs, whereas the water still had germs in it because it wasn't filtered, it wasn't cleaned in any way. So it's actually advised for the people to drink beer instead of water. That Belgium at one point had 3,223 breweries. That is a lot of breweries. And so Belgium is nicknamed as the country of beer, which is kind of controversial to me because I would have thought that that's Germany, but I failed to recognize how important beer was to Belgium. So now I think for me, Belgium will remain the country of beer.
we have to deal with stupid lighting. We just got done touring a chocolate museum. It was very fun when we got free chocolate, and we got to see how they make pralines, which is a very popular chocolate treat originating from Belgium.
Yeah, actually, Mr. Newhouse, a man named Newhouse first created them in the 1900s, and he still has his original shop in the Galleria today. We walked by it. Mm-hmm. It's very cool.
I think it's their 160th anniversary. So, yeah, now we have to go see a statue, and it's raining, so it'll be fun. We love it here. There's so many good things to eat. What'd you get?
So this lady had a bunch of waffles in her window with like fruits on top and whipped cream and chocolates and literally
All the
anything you
stuff.
could have imagined. And so I wanted one with dark chocolate, but I think I just ordered wrong because it's milk chocolate. And I'm not the biggest fan of milk chocolate, but here we go. This is just the whipped cream.
And she got basically a waffle
Legal
covered
waffle.
with,
I don't even know how to eat it. My fork can't stab it.
a Liège waffle with whipped cream and chocolate. And I got the same kind of waffle, but mine has bananas, strawberries, and chocolate.
I like how the chocolate's like hardening.
Oh, it looks so good. I can't wait to eat.
And we're right across from the peeing boy.
Yeah, the mannequin piss. It's a bronze statue that throughout its time in Brussels has had a lot of experience being stolen, but it basically serves as a joke to the people of Brussels to show off their humor and how like open-minded they are. And it's existed for a very, very long time, all the way back to like the 1400s. With more recent years, it was actually turned into a bronze statue, which now a lot of people like to go see, even though it doesn't really serve any purpose. Hey everybody, so I just want to provide the short ending to today's video instead of some text explaining everything. But basically, once we saw the bronze statue, we just went home. The day was done, we saw everything we wanted to, and it was about a 2-hour drive, so really nothing fancy. And we made it back to Essen, and things have continued. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys next week. And do not forget, if you haven't already subscribed or at least checked out Ellie's new channel, there'll be a link up here and definitely a link in the description below. So if you want to see videos where Ellie kind of explains how things are going in her life and what things we've been up to, but all in German, you should definitely check it out. It'll be a lot of fun. Bye.